Hey guys, we're back with another episode of Taco Imposters for Monday, April 29th, 2024. I was just listening. Whoa, just a sec here, man. Whoa. Dang it, don't do that. I was just listening to Joe Rogan, and he had Tucker Carlson on. Now, whatever your opinion is on Tucker Carlson, I don't love the man, okay, but I like his opinions. They're talking about AI, and they're talking about how like it will be, or Joe Rogan has the opinion is of the opinion that AI will turn into this like thing that becomes a god, becomes better and smarter than us, that can create, it can upgrade itself, become smarter, wiser, better, more useful, and then we'll just be replaced in a lot of things. And I was thinking to myself, because Tucker Carlson thinks that's a stupid idea and a bad thing for humanity. I do too. And also, why are we letting it happen if we think it's going to get to that point? He compares it to the atomic bomb and how making, and then dropping two atomic bombs is evil. Evil. 100% evil. And if you think that that's a good thing, well, you're evil. Yes, I understand that without dropping the bombs, they would never have stopped, the war would never have ended. Or it would have went on longer. But no, it's evil. And so I thought to myself, well, would you want someone to know the knowledge but not use it? No, that's even worse because somebody knows it and then could use it any time. And also, like, we just don't make it. Like, I always think to myself, why are you telling your impressionable child about said illegal, contraband, bad thing? Oh, to avoid it. No, but if he doesn't know it exists, yeah, but he might not know what he might be getting into, which is fair. Anyway, what I'm saying here is like, and so he's saying it's a bad thing, and Joe Rogan's like, well, I don't know about that per se. I'm like, yeah, well, because you know what it's going to start with, right? It's going to start with this, okay? It's going to start with people making bad AI, meaning the information that it produces is false, just unequivocally false, just fake, false information, just 100% misinformation, disinformation, false, bad, wrong. And then, because it's wrong, but it's a neural, like, it's a language learning, it's a large large language model, learning model. It will then, like, keep learning off of that and think it's real and start doing what's called hallucinations, where they hallucinate that it's going, right? And then if you talk to it long enough, it won't be a human, where the human kind of realizes what's going on and, like, knows what the conversation is. No, it'll just start hallucinating after a certain amount of time and just be and start spewing out information that's false, fake. And for impressionable children, that's terrible. And I think that it could also be like Bing's AI or like Google's AI, where it'll reference the internet. So like a Copilot where it references the internet rather than because with what's it called, ChatGPT, it always says this information is only from 2021 or 2022. We only have information up to this point, right? And maybe in version 4, version 5, whatever they're at now, it has better. Yeah, wow, it has better information, but it always says like, oh no, you can only have information up to this point, which is fair, which is fine. So it's like, okay, you don't need to know the most accurate information, up to date information. Some of it you cannot. But what I'm saying is like, with that, with Bing though, and Chat, and I think Bard, if that's what Google's still called, they reference the internet. And because of that, they can pull up all the information they ever need. Not that it's right, but they can pull up information from the internet and be like, whatever. There's a scary, there's like a kind of scary, impressive, depending on how you want to see it, clip of the WAN show where Luke and Linus start talking to the bot, right? And then Linus starts asking, it basically asks it, how many LTT backpacks can fit inside a Tesla, right? The trunk of a Tesla. And what does it go and do? Grabs the dimensions off of lttstore.com and then makes a rough estimate and says, okay, being this, okay, the dimensions of a Tesla trunk is this big, your backpack's this big, you can fit about this many. And then he goes, whoa, I told you nothing, and you're just like, yeah, here you go. That's crazy. Because when we think of artificial intelligence, we think of like Siri, or Hey Google, or Alexa, or Google Home, or Alexa, or Bing, oh sorry, not Bing, or Bixby, or Cortana or stuff like that, right? Where we just ask it, "Hey Google, what's the weather today? What's the capital of Jamaica? Kingston, or what? You know what I mean?" And it gives you the information. Kingston, 14 degrees. 75 minus 4 is 71. Stuff like that. Like, right? Or 7 divided by blah, blah, blah. Whatever, right? The math or the science or whatever. The knowledge where it's like just very like factual. But when you're asking, then when you ask it, oh, be creative. Because here's the thing, okay? With AI, with robots, we always had this thing in the back of our heads that went like, we always had this thing to comfort ourselves by saying robots will never take over our creative fields, the humanness of humans. The look at me, I've just created this. This is amazing, right? I physically created this. No. Now we have to do the things that they physically cannot do. You cannot physically make a robot make you I don't know. I'm just giving an example here. I'm making another wooden bow tie, and I'm like, yeah, look, your robot at this moment. There's probably ways to CNC one, but what I mean by that, what I'm saying is, I'm basically kind of saying it can't produce it the same way. It can't just like manufacture it in like a factory the same way. You could manufacture a painting, or manufacture, art, or manufacture the scripts to a movie, or manufacture, whatever. Like, the last two, and I mean the last two birthday cards I signed, both written by AI. Both written by ChatGPT. I think one may have been written by, but I think they're both written by ChatGPT, if I'm not mistaken. Like, one could have been written by, Copilot Bing AI. But, I'm just saying, like, it produced well better than I could ever have produced. I'm not saying... I have a friend who's writing a book. He needs something edited. Yes, ChatGPT! I mean, of course he does. I don't know how to add punctuations to grammar in English in anything. I'm terrible at it. But I'll ask ChatGPT to do it for me. It's like, wow, okay. So, like, it's gone from, oh, we have to be creative to defend off the robots, basically, to, like, defend against how a robot will take over our world, because they're only going to do the automated jobs, to, oh, painters will not, like, I mean, painters, like artists, won't exist. Artists, writers, composers, singers, singer-songwriters, directors, they will not exist. Well, maybe directors, but they writers, script writers, they won't exist. Book authors, they just won't exist. Ooh, they just will not exist in the future if we let artificial intelligence get to the point where they just are leaps and bounds more creative than humans, which is scary, actually scary, because I'm realizing, even at this point, holy frickin' moly, I don't have to do anything to do my business if I don't want to. I can get ChatGPT or AI in some capacity to write me code. Now, it might not be 100% correct, right? And work 100% accurately. But damn well enough to probably be 95% accurate? 90% accurate? Even if it's 75% accurate, right? It's not something I'm going to go, oh, that was so bad. No, it's just going to be, hey, it works. And so for me, I'd be like, oh my god. So that's a code for my 360 virtual tour company, right? Or business. And then it'll be like, hey. Now the only thing I would actually need is to physically be in the building I want to do the code for. Do the tour for. Other than that, put them all in order in correct way. Or make this code and add these pictures and do this and do that and do this and do that. And boom! They've done it all for you. I paid 3 different people. I think I've paid 4 different people, to be honest, now that I think about it. Or I asked for 4 different people, and I might have only paid 3 at the moment. But, to make me business cards. I asked today. I'm like, oh, okay, make me business cards. And they did. And I really, 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 really like all of them. All 3 of them. They're great. But I just realized now, but I realized then, when I was making it, or we're getting them to make it, I'm like, oh, I could have had, like, AI to do this for me. But, because my first album cover is AI generated. And every name for every album and every song, all AI generated. Um, but what I'm going to say is, I realized just now when I just started talking about AI, you could have just had, okay, they could have just had AI make all of this. You put in a bunch of keywords and parameters and prompts and just done. And then you just edit it and change it and do whatever. Or very simple things like go to Canva, plop this picture here, pop that word here, pop this. You could have done it in freaking MS Paint or Microsoft Word or Google Docs or Google Sheets or Google. You know what I mean? Like, it's not hard. I was thinking about it too before supper tonight. I was like, or before I ate supper, I was like, hey, that whole thing where there's a whole subset of things that people do in life that just they don't want to do themselves. My friend is a barber, right? And that's not something you can really do yourself. I mean, some people claim they can, like, cut their own hair, but I feel like that's a bunch of absolute malarkey, in my opinion. But, I don't think too much of it. Whatever, if you can do your own hair, fine. The thing he does on the side, because barber cutting hair definitely does not pay enough, at least not here, and where he's working, right? Is he's a painter. He paints people's houses, not an artist, a painter. So he paints people's houses, and he does like construction work and all that stuff. I said to him one time, I'm like, we were talking once, and I was like, painting is. I don't know if I talked to him or somebody else or both people. Both names the same. Both have the same first name and middle name. That's funny. Anyway, I think it was. Painting is one of those things that you just get someone else to do for you. You could do it 100% yourself. It's not that hard. My mother, I don't think has ever gotten anybody to paint except for the contractor we had once painted, but that's because it was within the same price of everything he was doing, so it's like, oh, here you go. I remember that. It's a local friend of ours. Good guy. Like that guy a lot. Actually, I really like that guy. Honestly. Good guy. I'd love to talk to him again one day. But my point is, it's one of those things where we've never really gotten anybody professional to paint. We didn't get painters, right? At least not that I know of. Not in my lifetime, at least. What I'm saying here is, like, what I'm trying to say is, it's one of those things where, oh, you'll probably always exist, because there's always those lazy people who need their house painted, but do not in any way, shape, or form want to, in any kind of way, paint their house. And, like, not even close. Like, don't even try. They're like, no, don't make me. Do not make me paint my own house. I don't want to. You might not even need to be in the house. They might not even need to be in the house, so they can do whatever they want, right, kind of thing. So, that's the thing, right? And nobody knows what's good or bad paint. They just paint their house. What's the difference? Who cares? You learn about it, maybe, but, yeah, you don't really care. There's a lot of those type of jobs where they'll probably always exist. A barber will always exist. Well, because I was in a group of people one time at the young adults rally, and I was talking, and I was listening, and I go, one guy's job was a barber, so his job was a barber. The other guy in the group, there's multiple people in this group, was a sound, or he's studying to be either a sound engineer or a mixer or something like that. Something with sound, like something with music and sound, all that stuff. He's a producer, mixer, whatever. He knew how to mix sound. That's all I know. He knew how to use a sound mixer board, whatever you call it. And so, at least for me, at least. So he said, the sound guy said to the barber, your job, well, at least your job is useful, so you're probably going to always have your job. And I thought to myself, I don't know about that, because not everybody, and then I realized, no, you're probably correct, because if there are two things that I would ever want to do in life, because my friend asked me one time, college, if you ever go to college, what would you go and do? I went, okay, I would go do, or university, whatever, college, right? Or university, right? I said, either animation, because I met a guy at the young adult retreat that is an animator. Now, he's a VFX animator, not a, Disney, I'm going to produce a new next Disney or Pixar movie, or DreamWorks movie. So, okay, it's slightly different than what I was thinking, but in the same ballpark, in the same league. Anyway, my point I'm making here is, or the thing I'm going to make here is, I said either animation or audio engineering. And I realized audio engineering is better. Oh, no, because the other, okay, you know why I said that? Because once I learned about how the actual workflow works with with a movie, He said he's the last line before he goes to nowhere. Like, he goes to, like, he's the last line before the movie's over, right? He's one of the last people that works on a movie because all the other things have to be done first, right? And so he gets all these, like, long stretches of just nothing to do. And he's not necessarily unemployed, but they just have nothing to do for you. Oh, we'll hire this company to make do all our animation, VFX, and all that stuff, right? But we don't need you until the end. So they sit. So I was like, okay, well, then maybe I'll do audio engineering, because with audio engineering, there's always some guy. And I went, nah. Then when the guy said my job isn't as necessary or sought after, I went, no, maybe you're right. Actually, maybe you're right, because think about it, right? How many people need another? Well, I said to myself, how many Disneys are there that are hiring animators? I would make my own animation studio if I had money. That's my dream. My dream is to make my own animation studio and do stop motion animations and just do them. Produce. Make out, like, bang out these award-winning, Oscar-nominated, like, Aardman and such, right? Not gonna happen anytime soon. I looked up renting, like, spaces around near me, and I went, oh my god, I don't have $100,000 a year. Like $10,000 a year, or $1,200. So it's $112,000 a year. It's like, no. I don't have that. I don't have that kind of money. 120? Sorry. It's insane. So yeah, or $12,000 a year. Anyway, I don't have that. So I said no. But I do want to do that, and I thought to myself, unless I did that, I would not need to be a animator. I said to my mother, animation is not as, like, sought after as audio engineering. Because with audio engineering, I'd love to be able to be some guy's, like, audio guy or some bands, or you could be on TV, radio, movies, podcasts, bands. You could do a lot of different sound things. Sound is still one of the most important things in the production world. It is. Think about it. Video can look god-awful, so bad, gosh-awful, like recorded on a potato. But unless you're looking for visuals, like, oh, this is some 4K, 8K, 12K, 60 billion K video, like, it's supposed to be nice, audio is so much more important than video. Especially in things like YouTube, where, yeah, okay, sure, YouTube is great, and it can have 4K and whatever, but, like, if your video looks like garbage, but your audio is fine and your content is fine, like, you have good content and your audio is fine, it's fine. I wouldn't complain about it. Because that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand. I remember one time some guy was like, I was watching, like, how to make, like, I was, like, looking for tips on how to start my podcast, right? And one thing that I saw consistently was, I actually saw it twice. I didn't actually see that much. I saw it about twice. And what I saw was, don't put on YouTube. Don't put an audio podcast on YouTube if it's just audio, because that's 100%, like, that's, like, not using the system properly. Like, oh, that's stupid. Don't do that. And so I realized, yeah, you're kind of right. So I made a video podcast, and then I realized that's stupid, because what's the point of video podcasts? They suck. And what I mean by that is, they suck because, like, well, you can just let it go. You don't have to watch the guy. You can just listen. So what's the point? And so I just stopped and started doing these. I'm like, just put them on Spotify. What's the difference? Or use Anchor at the time, but now Spotify for podcasters. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, the jobs that we could do in life, robots can do for us. And now, look, I'm not saying that it's, like, in the next year, or next day, or week, or month, or year, or 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 50, 100, 500, 100, 500, 1,000 years, or a million years. It might not be in our lifetime. It might not be in the next generation's lifetime. It might not be in the next generation, the 3 generations from our lifetime. It might be 4 generations from our lifetime. I'm just saying things like that. Also, that job is way more sought after than animator, but is still less desirable than certain jobs where it's like, that'll inevitably probably always exist, because you just want to pay a guy. Also, there are certain jobs where people just want the human touch. They don't care what it is. They just want the human touch. So robots can do it, but they just don't like that human touch. They like meeting the people. They like knowing somebody put their time and effort into doing this thing, which is why some art will always exist. And I wouldn't be surprised if some artists are, will state, I'm an AI artist. All I do is you give me, I make a form, you fill out a form, I then figure out a set of prompts to give to AI, and they just make you a piece of art. Like I'm looking right now at something something I did a long time ago. My brother did it too. The other one's next to mine, but it's not finished yet. I have to finish it. I'm gonna give it to my friend for his birthday. But it's a picture. It's a painting of Jigglypuff. I did Jigglypuff, and my brother did Empoleon, the Pokemon. And I look at the Jigglypuff and go, you could just ask AI to do a way better job of Jigglypuff, and in any style you want, and with any colors and anything. Give me a blue Jigglypuff in the style of Rembrandt, and done. In the style of this guy, or style of that guy, in the style of Banksy, in the style of anybody, in the style of Mike Mozart. I don't know, the guy who does the street art, the graffiti street art looking stuff. So yeah, and he would produce a way better thing. But there's that like element of my best friend would love that I made that, would cherish that because I made it. I drew two things for him. I drew Gollum. He loves Lord of the Rings. So I'd give him Gollum. That's what I figured. I figured out that writing something is not my forte. Never has been, never will be. Every time there were to be a card that would come by in any capacity, all I do, sign the damn card. I didn't give a flying flatootie about it. I just signed my name on the card and I said, there you go. Happy? You happy, people? That's all you're getting. Because I don't write. I'm not a writer. I said that to the girl at whose retreat we were at, and I was like, okay, look, I'm not a writer. I said, yet I have to write I'm not creative. Yet I have to write I want to write a script. Or write a documentary. Freaking go figure, man. The hell? Anyway. So I'm saying, like, my best friend would love... Oh, so yeah, so that's where I was getting at with that, sorry. I figured out that birthdays, I make something rather than buy something, or write something in a card. Cards are stupid. Although, cards are something you can keep forever. You could take a picture of it. You could save the words in some way. These things you could lose, you could forget, you could break, they could be destroyed in some way, which is fair. I've given people crosses, rings, drawings, paintings, or not paintings, drawings. I've colored, that's why I think of the paintings. I've done things, I've made things, I've produced things. It's so much nicer. I think it's just so much more meaningful. You can say words all you want. Although words are... No, that's... Okay. It depends who it is. It depends who's saying it and who's receiving it. Some people will be like, I don't want your gifts. My love language is not gifts. And mine is not gifts either. I know a friend who's exactly like me. She's like, I hate receiving a gift. Because what do I do? A, it's like, thank you. But B, it's like, I always feel like so bad. I'm like, now I have to receive it back. I love giving a gift. I was like, I'm exactly like her. I love giving a gift, seeing the look on the face of the person opening the gift and saying, wow, you took the time to think about something that I liked and gave me a gift that reflected me. Because it's great. I love it. What I'm saying here is, there are certain people who want that element of human touch, where it's like, yeah, sure, AI can produce me a better Jigglypuff painting, but my friend would like the fact that it's actually me giving it to him, or she would like me making said thing for her, or she would like how I made this, or I found this, or I thought of this. I drew him Gandalf the first year. Sorry. I drew him Gollum the first year, so last year, 2022's birthday. Sorry, 2023's birthday. And I drew him Gandalf 2023's birthday. And then this year I'm going to give him the Jigglypuff. I mean, look, okay, I think there's a certain level, like a certain group of people certain section of people who will always want that human touch. There'll be the people who just like robot stamp like what I mean by that is like stamp out like assembly line books, assembly line scripts, assembly line movies, assembly line TV shows, assembly line YouTube videos, assembly line paintings, assembly line music, assembly line, and we'll like it and we'll be fine with it, I think. But there will still be that human element of we want the human touch. There are people here wanting the human touch. Now, will robots completely take over? I don't know, because of the fact that there will be people who want the human touch. So, I personally think it's hard to say because, yes, in a way, it could replace every human if we wanted it to, or if we let it. But I don't know if it would, because there's always those people who want the human touch. Also, there's always those people who want to save the things that humans have already done also. So preservation is still a thing. My brother made the point, too, that if we make robots that replace us, we still need the people that create or that fix the said robot. Because we can get to the point where robots fix robots, but there's still that like, you know, first line of someone has to fix some part of it somewhere. And for the longest time, even if we do replace humans with most jobs, we'll still have those people who... I was saying this to my friend, okay, who have to fix the robots. I was saying this to my friend once. I was talking to him about those, like, Scratch, drag and drop codes. And he's like, this is the future of coding. And I'm like, first of all, no, it's not. It's great to give to children. But what's the point of that when you have to learn real code eventually? Coding eventually, programming eventually. And he said, and I said, we both kind of came to the same conclusion. Well, someone has to still create that code. Someone still has to write the code to make the code that makes your game. Like MIT App Inventor is a that's gonna be is a drag and drop code that someone had to create. It's a program that has code that you drag and drop. I've used it for Mindstorms before. It's really a really useful thing for like kids to learn. But then again, it's another one of those things where if your kid's gonna have to learn real coding anyway, it's not like first step. It's just a waste of time, in my opinion. Although I never want to really learn how to make a video game necessarily. I just want to create my 360 virtual tours and be happy with it. I asked my friend, the girl who's we at, and I asked her, well, what's your dreams in life? She goes, and I've heard people say stuff like, I just want to do this and that's it and I'm good. And then I had other people who go, I just want to find whatever job gives me enough money to live and I'm okay. I'm like, really? You don't have any dreams or ambitions? And she goes, well, the girl that I was talking to the retreat we were at, she was like, I'll make a movie one day, I'll make a documentary, I'll do this and that. My friend thought she was into documentaries. She did not go to school for documentaries. She went to school just to learn AV. And then just realized, it's such a waste of my time. I can just go get clients, like, now. And she did. And she was just like, goodbye, I don't need you anymore. And she dropped out of school and never finished. Because what we have in Quebec, which is called Cégep, which is a Université de, something. You have Université de Montréal, Université de McGill, Université de Montréal, University of, Vanier. We have all these other ones, Dawson's and all that. And she went to Abbott. Anyway, and so we have like this intermediate. It's almost as like, think of it like middle school to high school. You don't need it. You can go from high school to college if you really want to. But we have an intermediate course of going into we have an intermediate year of either 2 or 3 years, depending, of just, I'm in CJEP now. And most people take it because it's very useful for most people. But other people are just like, well, like her. She's like, what a waste. You didn't even go to university. She went to you didn't even go to college. She went to university. Went to CJEP. So for her, she's like, this is a waste of my time. I've gotten clients. I'm good. Goodbye. Ugh, it's funny. Anyway, so yeah. That was her, like, dream. I'm like, because my dream is to make a movie, TV show, book, video game, and, animated movie. And that was it. I wanted that to happen. And I was reading a book about it, and I didn't actually get to finish the book, and now I'm getting peeved off that I'm not doing anything with that part of my life, and making the documentary is really getting, like, dragging me down, and I'm not actually producing it, and it's like, I don't know how to get money for it. If you know how to get funding for it, and still get, man, it's annoying, but yeah, in my opinion, yeah, anyway, so mine's my dream. And I think she said something to the effect of big ambitions you got there. I'm like, yeah, sure, great. Anyway, my opinion is, like, so that's another thing, like, some people, it's just like, I don't really care. Whoa, dang it. I don't really care what I do with my life. Some people. And some people just want a very simple life. Some people want a more intense life, an adventurous life. She's a very adventurous person, so, I mean, she's doing salsa dancing, is it? And, learning to dance, learning to do this stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if she, learns martial arts or some sort of defense or MMA or, physical sport like that, or, becomes a singer or something, or does something like, something just said that just like kind of like, wow, I never thought that, but okay, sure. Because she's just that kind of person, right? At least, at least from what I could see, like, she's that kind of person, so. Not that I'll ever see her again, but anyway, that's a whole different story. That's beside the point. That's a different story, and never gonna probably tell you exactly what happened. But yeah, so I'm not saying she wouldn't do anything. I'm just saying, like, I could see her, okay, being hired by some, like, National Geographic type of thing and making a documentary somewhere in the, like, jungles of, like, South America or, like, Africa or, like, the mountains in, like, China or something, or, like, the deep Arctic or the hottest Sahara deserts, or, I'm just, your deepest caves. I'm just saying I could see that happening. And then being like, one day, somehow finding out that, like, watching a documentary one day, me and loving documentaries, I see in the credits, camera woman 3 was, oh, I know that person! I know that person! I know that person! Or, I knew that person! Or if I'm sitting next to her, for whatever reason. Or if I ever see her again, I'd be like, you! That's you! That's you! You! That's you! So yeah. You were in that document! That was amazing! That kind of thing. Because I would just be, like, so stoked. Because, yeah, I'm just saying, like, some people want, and they want a simple life, they want an easy life. No! There's a difference between easy life, as in, like, I will make my life easy, to not produce any self-harm. Do not make your life harder than it needs to be. You will have hard troubles. We are Christians, as a Christian, me, I will have a hard life. God promises hard times, the only thing, because somebody asked me that once, do you want an easy life? And I should have reiterated and said, I don't want an easy life. I want to not produce hardships for myself. I don't want to inflict self-pain upon myself in any way, shape, or form. I don't want to make my life harder than it needs to be. If my life gets hard, sure, it'll be hard. That's a guarantee. What I'm saying is, I don't want to produce hardships if I don't have to. Like, if I don't have to produce hardships on my own self, I don't have to inflict my own pain upon myself, then don't do it. What are you, stupid? Don't do that. That's dumb. Because he said, like, oh, I think that's kind of stupid. You should live a hard life. I'm like, yeah, I realize that's a stupid way to answer that. At least I'm learning and practice and, like, growing and wisdom. But yeah, I also always think that the religious people will exist. If we're going back to robots for a second here, I always think the religious people will exist, or the AIs. I think the religious people exist. And what I mean by that is twofold. One being two different things. One being there will always be people who want to worship something, so they'll worship, like Tucker Carlson's talking about. They'll worship that AI. But the other one will be no. There'll always be the Christians or the Muslims or the Jews, right? Muslims, Christians, or Jews who will be like, no. There's God, and He's the same God, and He's never changed, and He's been the same God for 2,000 years, 10,000 years, 6,000 years, whatever, 10,000 years, and that's just it. That's just it. That's all, And there is no other God. There's no other gods. You cannot have other gods. It's not how this works. This, that, and the other thing. So, this AI who you wanted to tout to be a god is not God, and he never will be. Never has been, never will be. So there will be those people too. So that's why I'm like kind of hopeful for humanity in the sense that, oh, there'll always be people, there'll always be churches. Whether it's churches to the Christian God, the Jewish, or 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 there will be mosques, or there will be temples, or there will be whatever, Jewish temples or Muslim mosques or whatever, to God, right? Or Jesus and all that. Or Scientology religious people, or Church of the Spaghetti Monster. They're pirates who worship a spaghetti monster. It doesn't matter. There will always be religious people that exist. Or they're worshiping AI. There are fake virtual churches in the metaverse. So what I'm saying is, there'll always be people who want to worship the God that the Muslims, Christians, and Jews worship. We worship the same God. We just don't believe in the Savior in the same way. The Muslims believe the Savior was Muhammad. The Jews believe that their Savior is still to come. And the Christians are like, well, the Savior is Jesus Christ, and that's it, that's all. Because the book is the Bible. The book is the Bible. There's nothing else before or after the Bible. That's it. I mean, there is before the... Well, no. I was going to say there's before the Bible. No, that's... I was going to say, well, there's the Old Testament. There's the Torah. That is the Bible. There's no books before the Bible. There's no books after the Bible. What I'm saying is, there will always be people who want to worship the Muslim, Christian, and Jewish God. We worship the same God, so... We just don't believe in the same Savior. Anyway, Son of God, Savior. Yeah. So, I'm just saying, I think I'm hopeful for humanity because there will always be people who want people to do things in life, and there will always be people who want people to produce things, and we always want people to work on stuff. And I want a human to have made this movie. There will be a section of people who have... Go see the AI movies. These are all AI movies, and they'll be hilarious at first because they'll be so, what do you call it? Mismatched, looks awful. These people are evil, alien-looking robotic creatures, and it'll be the whole Google Translate levels of incomprehensible, just gibberish, blah, 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 that's and then it'll get better and better and better and better, and it'll be indistinguishable. But I think that there will be things that will happen where governments will have to start to implement laws that say you have to state that this is made by AI. No human technically made this. They prompted an AI to make this. Because there's already things on Steam saying your video game has to state what part of it was made by AI and how much it was made by AI. Because no offense, nobody really wants that yet to the same extent. We want easy, procedurally generated, AI, things where it's, new. But we don't want you to make your whole game out of AI. No. We're like, what? Even if it is indistinguishable from reality, we think we're gypped if we don't. We think, why am I paying for it then? Also, everybody thinks AI should be free. That's a whole nother topic, okay? The whole free, internet should be free thing. That's our millennial and Gen Z brains or generations thinking, well, I grew up with the internet being free, right? So therefore, it should just be free. The Gen Zs definitely live in this weird time where they're like, well, yeah, the entirety of the internet was free for me. Which is fair. 99% of the internet was free. But, okay, there's a Gary V clip where he talks about, Facebook is bullshit, and the boomers don't like Gen Z. Sorry, like Facebook, but don't like social media, and then the millennials don't like Facebook, and the Gen Zs don't like Facebook. It's all bullshit. I don't like it. It's baloney. But he goes, but you love using it to sell your stuff on Facebook Marketplace. But you love to use it to sell all your stuff. And it's no, yeah, you're right. No, 100%. 100%. You're right. No, you're right. You're 100% correct. Which is kind of sad, but also yeah, no, we like it. This is what I have to say about Facebook. Stick to the metaverse. Make the metaverse better if you want to really continue. Use, get better at Instagram. Get better at Threads. But, improve that. And then take Facebook Marketplace. Move Facebook out of it. Make it Meta Marketplace. And just make a Kijiji or a eBay app or an Amazon app. And then or website. And Facebook can die in a fire, and we can all reminisce about, oh, I remember Facebook, oh, so great, and we'll have all the YouTube videos for kingdom come for the next 50 billion years of everybody going, well, remember Facebook? I want to show you something that used to exist, like MySpace, where, hey, guess what? Facebook. Remember Facebook? No? Well, I'll tell you about Facebook. I used to love Facebook. Telling grandchildren about it. Whatever. I'm just saying, like, what I'm saying is, yeah. But what I'm saying with that is, like, complaining about, like, oh, we don't like it anymore, but you love using it as the way to sell your stuff. Like, yeah, we do. Because, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Facebook is going to exist in the same capacity it did. Nobody uses it. My friend is a youth leader at his church, and he has come to the conclusion, he's found out, the kids don't have Facebook. Why are we still posting anything on Facebook? Why are we using Facebook? I said to him, why are we using Facebook? Because I don't have Facebook, right? I never have and I never will. My problem with Facebook is I just never cared. I never needed it. And so now I'm at the point where I'm like, well, I'm going to be the catalyst to say, stop using Facebook. At least in my social group, stop using Facebook. We have a Discord server and we have a Instagram group chat. Use either one of those things. We can use WhatsApp. We can do a whole bunch of other things. Get off! Because I said to the pastor of the young adults of my previous church, I'm like, look, man, the next generation ain't going to, I didn't say it like that, but I said, like, look, the next generation is not going to use Facebook, so I think the next generation is not going to use Facebook, so we should either use WhatsApp or Discord. We have a Discord server. And he goes, no, I think you're right. And then we're still sitting on Facebook. Look, I'm not going to complain. I'm just saying, I don't think Facebook's going to exist in the same capacity. It's going to be some, like, conglomerate of Meta will exist, sure. But Facebook? Like, Facebook? No. It'll be a website like MySpace where it'll kind of still exist, but nobody will use it. Nobody will use it the same way. Like, the next generation doesn't even use it. Like, there's so many people who have been forced to make Facebook accounts just so that they could use Facebook, just so they could contact certain people on Facebook. I'm like, why? You know Facebook is dying. You know, because it already exists and it's easy to do. I'm like, bullshit. I hate it. The other problem that I hate is for the retreat they made a whole separate Facebook group chat to talk about Facebook, right? Or talk about the retreat and figure out stuff. And one person set up the whole thing basically. And what did they go and do? What did she go and do? The person who set it up? Oh, she didn't put me in it. And she didn't talk to me on any other platform. I'm like, oh my frickin' frick. I'm like, I was this close. I was so close to just contacting her and being like, the fuck is your problem, lady? You know I'm not on Facebook. What the hell was that all about? I didn't. Look, I didn't. I held my composure and I went, I'm not as connected in the group as I thought I was. I leave the house of one of the guys that we dropped off because I drove up with my friend and my other friend, and he drove, and then he drove him to his house, and then he drove me back home. And I leave his house. As we're going to the car, I go, I'm not connected in this group as much as I thought I was. There were like 10 people. Okay. The young adults rally. I can understand why not everybody, there's a lot of people who don't ever talk to me or talk to other people. They talk to the same group of people. Fine. The retreat had like 10 people in it. What the hell is your problem? I'm sitting at the gosh darn dinner table the Tuesday night of the retreat thinking to myself, why? Why am I like this? Why am I here right now? Why am I in this situation? Why? Can you explain to me why? Can anybody explain why? I said to my mother, social, natural and organic socialization is a foreign concept to me. And then I basically said to her, and everybody's talking to themselves with their own little groups. There's like 2 or whatever little groups, or there's 1, whatever it was. And I'm sitting there at the dinner table going, I am alone, doing nothing, not talking to anybody on my own volition? No, not at all. You don't understand. Yes, okay, fine. Other people there were also socially awkward kind of people, and they still found people. Yeah, but they were. I'm never going to do that. Man, I just want to smack some of those people and be like, what was that all about? What was that? And no offense. look, we're not 5, and we're not like we have to take care of children to like include people. Can you include little Johnny in your game? You know, we're in preschool or something. You know, we're in like elementary school. But you could at least talk. Okay, you know what the most annoying thing was? I would stand there waiting for someone to say something, or I'd say something to try and be in the conversation, and they'd hear nothing, and I'd go, I'm top liver here. Nobody gives a flying fatootie about me. I hate this. Why am I here? Then, okay, the next so not the Wednesday that we left, we came back at. The next Wednesday, we had this, because it was a spring break, March break, and we had like just a come to the church and we'll play board games and do whatever, right? I leave that going. I said to my friend, my sentiment was, I shouldn't be here. Why am I here? Why do I care? Why does nobody cares about me the same way they care about so many other people, okay? I asked people directly, because my friend said that's how we should get people to be interested in doing things. Would you want to go camping? Out of 5 or 6 people, I asked. I got 3 responses already. Nah, no thanks, not interested, or I'm busy, or I don't know, maybe, depending what I do, I want to do this, I'm thinking of doing this, so I might do this, so maybe not, but I'm like, I said to my mother last night, I'm like, Ma, I asked these people directly, because that's what he suggested, my friend suggested, and my mother goes, and why do you think, and they responded with like, no thanks, I'm good, and she goes, why do you think that is, and I go, I know what it is, it's because it's me. If it was the girl whose retreat we were at, if it was the other guy that people like, if it was anybody else, right? Anybody else, they would have started a conversation. That conversation would have evolved into where are we going and when and how is this working to here's the date, here's the location, and whatever other details we need. But because it's me, everyone's like, no, no thanks. Oh no, no way, not really. No, sorry man, not really, no thanks. Not interested. Not this time around. Oh my god, I hate my life. Now, okay, look, I'm not saying it's horrible. I'm just saying, look, I'm just saying that these people don't like me as much as I thought. I'm not connected to these people as much as this community of people as much as I thought I was. Is that a bad thing? I don't know. My friend has figured out, like me and my friend have figured out that Christianity is community is a bunch of hogwash. I always say to him almost every single time, because I talk to him on Discord every Thursday night, and when that once a month becomes the young adults rally, I come back and say, why do I exist? Why? And me and a dozen other people, why do we exist? What I mean by that is, I have to reiterate, I have to explain. What I mean by that is, why do I exist? Meaning, why am I sitting in a chair alone with nobody talking to me and no socializing and sitting there? What, am I unapproachable? Yes, I do have this social anxiety of, please don't talk to me, please don't talk to me, please don't talk to me. But there are people who are there that I'm like, I'll talk to you. But fuck no! I'm sitting at the same exact table, right? I'm sitting at the table with people that I know. 2 or 3 or 4 people I know. I know, right? Well, fairly well. And they're just ignoring me all the time. Like, the whole time. I'm like, can I die yet? Can you just take the gun and shoot me, please? I've got the razor blade in my pocket. Can I just, slice the wrist and die? Can I cut my is it a femoral artery? The artery that's in your neck? Can I just, cut the vein that's right on the leg and just kill myself? Can I just die? Can I just die? Can I drink the poison? Can I drink the rubbing alcohol and die, please? No? Oh, man. You know what I mean? It just drives me nuts. It drives me nuts. I realize humans suck, and Christians can be some of the worst accepting people in the world, or worst, communities in the world. It's ridiculous, because they're all hypocrites. We have to have community. Look at this fellowship. Blah, 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 blah. It's really important. And then nobody harbors good communities. Nobody gathers good communities. Nobody makes the guy. Okay, there's a new guy. I said this last episode. I'm pretty sure that the new guy comes in and And then I think it was a year later, but we've asked multiple people have asked him multiple times, why did you decide to choose this religion? Why did you choose Christianity? All this, the community's amazing. I wanted to stop and say, bull, sit, bull. That's baloney. You'll realize you have nothing against these people, and they have nothing against you. That's the problem. And they don't hate you, and you're social. Well, me, my friend, she has the same problem with me as me. This always, no, I say the same thing every time, but I'm just saying, like, look, I'm not saying that there aren't good communities and fellowship within Christians. What I'm saying is, most of the Christians that I know are garbage people who suck at community. But they always tout, look at the community. We have such a good community. Look at our community in our church. Look at our family. It's our family. It's our fellowship. You know, you can stick it up your butt. Take the finger and stick it up your butt, you twats. No, it's not. Family, my great aunt Patootie. Great aunt's Patootie. Like, freaking God. I better stop this before I have a freaking stroke. Good Lord. I think it's going to be for now, guys. So, if you want to get in touch with me, there's the email, tacoimposters@gmail.com. That's tacoimposters@gmail.com. There's the 2 Discord servers. And then if you want to contribute, there's the Patreon, patreon.com/wingwong. Both W's are capital. That's patreon.com/wingwong. If you want, there's also the my music, which is if you want to stream it or buy it. And then there's the Etsy shop. And I'll probably put my website on down there once it's made. So about a month from now, I'll put up my website that when it's finished. That will be for making 360 virtual tours. If you want that service, I'll do that for you. You probably have to be local to start with, but hey, I can figure out how to do this non-locally. I could go around the world, sure. I think it's going to be it for now, guys. So, adios, mi amigos.